Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome to another video on my channel, Hairliciously. If you guys are new, please make sure to subscribe to stay updated on hair loss treatment topics, as well as my second hair transplant journey progress. If you guys are losing hair, make sure to visit my website at hairliciously.com to grab your microneedling devices, which are scientifically proven to stimulate hair growth, my low-level laser therapy cap, DHT blocking shampoo, vitamin supplements, and a few other products that will help with hair growth. So today's video is going to be an interesting topic covering Jamie Foxx and what I think he did to his hair. For many years, even to this day, his hair transformation has been quite a mystery. He's had drastic hairline changes over the past few decades, and many people have been puzzled to figure out exactly what he did. And to this day, Jamie Foxx has not disclosed that he has had any type of hair restoration done. But based on photos of Jamie Foxx that I was able to pull on the web for the past couple decades, I will give you guys my insight on what I think that he has done. This is solely based on my opinion and speculation, so please take it with a grain of salt. To start off, Jamie Foxx is an American comedian, musician, and actor who became known for his impersonations on the TV sketch comedy show In Living Color back in the early 1990s, and later became a successful actor, featured in numerous films including The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Baby Driver, The Kingdom, Law-Abiding Citizen, Django, and a bunch of other films. Now, over the years, Jamie Foxx has had some bizarre hairline transformations. Sometimes he'll be spotted with a high, narrow forehead, while other photos show him with a much lower and wide forehead. There's other photos that also seem to show him having a huge gap between his temporal points, and others that show him with a much lower temporal point. Now, this is a photo of Jamie Foxx in 2001 at the age of 34. He does have a high forehead to begin with, and he also seems to have good density, and his temple points look normal. He doesn't look like he has that strong of a defined hairline, but not much hair loss going on, at least in my opinion and from this photo. Now, these next few photos were taken in 2005 at age 38, and I don't see too much change from the prior years. The temporal points are above the tip of his eyebrows. I suspect anything done in these photos, although this photo here looks a little bit odd since the length of the forehead in comparison to the temple point is a lot shorter. Now, there's also a good chance that he was using some type of hair concealer or thickener based on some of the increased density here, but there's not that much change in 2006 either. However, in 2007, Jamie Foxx ended up getting this weird tribal tattoo on the back of his scalp, and he said that it was a birthday present to himself for his 40th birthday. But many people, especially those who know about hair transplants and FUTs, are speculating that he had a FUT procedure done. And it makes sense since putting a tattoo on the back of one's scalp isn't something that anyone would really do. It's pretty random, and interestingly enough, it is at the exact same placement where an FUT scar would typically be for anyone undergoing a hair transplant. And this is the golden photo right here. This photo appears to confirm that indeed an FUT scar is present. You guys can actually clearly see a linear scar on the right side of the tattoo going straight across to the mid portion of the scalp. And remember, we can't confirm this, but based on the looks of this photo, it does at least look like some type of scar, and it would be logical that he would have gotten tattooed to cover up the scar, which is likely to have happened as a result of an FUT procedure. Now, FUEs weren't readily available, or it was actually limited back in 2007, and even so, he doesn't look like he would even have good density to yield a large amount of hair. But the scar does look like a whole lot of hair could have been extracted since the donor zone appears to look pretty thin. In 2008 to 2011, his hair does look about the same as it was a few years back, but it does look a little bit thicker. So perhaps the hair transplant did help him with density, but there's also a good chance he was using some type of concealer or topical application to create an illusion of density. I've actually seen some pretty good YouTube videos of African American males who ended up getting concealers, who went from a Nord 4 to a Nord 0, so it is a possibility. This photo here was taken in 2012 from the movie Django, and what makes his hair a little bit bizarre, based on this photo here, his hairline appears to have shifted up by a few inches, making it much larger, and his temple points also seem to have been elevated pretty high. Notice that the temple points distance is much farther away from the tip of his eyebrow. Now, here's another shot in 2012 with Tarantino, which still shows that elevated hairline, but up close, we can see a contrast between the hairline and the temple point texture compared to the mid-scalp and the vertex. and it's as if he put on some type of concealer that didn't blend in well with the rest of the scalp. Now in 2013, Jamie Foxx's hairline still looks a little bit awkward and strange. Notice how high the temple points are and how narrow yet wide his hairline is. 2014 is where we start to see some radical changes. He no longer has temporal points that go straight up from where the tip of his eyebrows are located. The width of his forehead has definitely increased from how it was back in 2013. The proportion obviously looks a lot better, and in 2017 onward to 2020, he has maintained a well-balanced forehead length and temporal point width from one corner to the other. Now, my speculation is that sometime between 2006 and 2007, Jamie Foxx underwent a hair transplant via FUT to increase density in the mid-scalp. But I don't think that it was really that successful because he appears to have, number one, poor density, and at most it probably thickened up the mid-scalp. And based on the way his hairline was shifting up and down along with the temporal point's length in relation to the corner of his eyebrow, he probably was using some type of hair loss concealer. That seems to be the only way to have different hairlines and temporal points, since if it were something permanent like a hair transplant, he wouldn't be changing it up, you know, as far as his hairline going up and down and also his temporal points getting closer, higher, lower. A lot of the hair fibers and hair glue with weaves look extremely natural nowadays, and I think Jamie Foxx relied heavily on that as well. He could have gotten away with a second hair transplant, but given that he normally cuts his hair short, we would have either seen FUE scars or another FUT. So I don't think that he's actually gone that route as far as another procedure. He also doesn't seem to have that good of a density, so I don't think that he opted for a second hair transplant, but he might have gotten SMP to cover up his FUT scar. But his hairline now looks stable, and there's a possibility that he might have had a small procedure to establish a permanent hairline and just supplements hair topicals to increase density. His hair transformation over the past couple decades is definitely puzzling even for me to this day. But to sum it up, I think he did get a hair transplant or two, one in 2006 to 2007, and another possibility within the past 5 years via FUE. SMP, and still uses concealers and fibers to thicken up his density. And I really wasn't planning on covering Jamie Foxx at first since it was a bit challenging, but that's pretty much my analysis of his hair. Let me know in the comments what you guys think Jamie Foxx has done to his hair, and if you guys have any other celebrities you guys want me to analyze, leave me some comments on who you want to see. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Take care.